Hey everyone, welcome back to JLB Sports TV. I am Justin Block. Today we saw Liverpool pick up their first 3 points of the year at Anfield. Sadio Mane might actually be the Premier League's best player, and Coutinho's effectively on strike. But still, let's do this drop. So in the past 10 games between Liverpool and Crystal Palace in this fixture matchup, there's actually been no clean sheet between the sides, and they've actually been averaging 4 goals a game. Today we got 1 goal and a clean sheet though, so I'm cool with it. So coming into the match in the pregame, when we saw the lineup card first announced, there are 5 changes in that lineup. It was a complete changeover almost from the previous side that played against Hoffenheim, and I think that's actually something Liverpool are used to. They can deal with that. In over 90% of their matches last season, they had a different starting 11, and I think that's a testament to how well Klopp prepares the side on the training ground. So Klopp said when he was talking about the 5 changes that he made to the lineup in the pre-match build-up, he said that he made the starting 11 in consideration with what happened in the last match, this match, and the next match. And by the next match, he means Hoffenheim Champions League at Anfield. And that's obviously a very important match for Liverpool. They want to qualify, make the Champions League group stage. But that also means that Klopp has a short week to work with, and with that short week, we saw key players rested. Mohamed Salah was rested, Emre Can was rested. Even you could say Dejan Lovren got a rest. So there are many changes to this lineup. Oh, and I can't forget about Trent All-Action-Arnold. He got a rest as well. But with all those changes, that also means that Klopp has a deeper bench to pull from for this match. And we saw Mohamed Salah come on late and actually be pretty effective. But let's also talk about who came into the side. And really most importantly, I was super happy to see Daniel Sturridge, D. Falcon S, back in the side. He was taking over at that striker role. That also means that we saw Firmino out wide, and with his new role out wide, Firmino playing alongside Sturridge, he got a fresh new haircut along with it. Then we also saw James Milner drop into midfield, which, funny enough, that was the position he was promised to play in when he first came to Liverpool. So he dropped in midfield. We saw Andy Robertson go out wide, make his Liverpool debut at home, at left back. I think he was a welcome addition on that left-hand side. We'll talk about more about him in a minute. But we also saw Joe Gomez and Klavan come into the side. Not unfairly, I think. Lovren has been iffy, as we've seen. Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously needed a rest. We had Nathaniel Klein out injured. So I think at the very least, this was an optimistic starting 11 to go into the match against Crystal Palace. Now, moving on to the match, we saw for the first 20 minutes, Liverpool actually had 2/3 of the ball, and they would end the match with over 70% possession of the ball on 22 shots. So they were clearly the dominant side for the full 90 minutes. And what we saw was a lot of, again, Sadio Mane running in between the channels, getting in between the right back and the center back, using his pace to really make those effective forward runs. Those were so great to see from Sadio Mane again. So with Mane making more incisive runs from that right-hand side, instead of being so wide on that right-hand side, we saw Andy Robertson link up a lot with James Milner to get balls to that left-hand side, really expose Palace's back three in those little pockets of space out wide. Andy Robertson, for my money, did a great job, whipped in lots of great crosses, incisive delivery, was good in the tackle, did his job defensively, and I'd have to say going forward, when it comes to our starting 11, our full strength 11, I'm sorry, Albi Moreno, but Andy Robertson's our guy. So Liverpool, with their bit of a lopsided shape in possession, they're really trying to overload Crystal Palace's left-hand side, take advantage of the holes in the back three, and with that we saw Daniel Sturridge and Roberto Firmino really take turns as the number 9 and the number 10. And I think that's something that worked out. Firmino is versatile in that way. We all know he likes to run like a madman. He's really just persistent throughout the match. With his runs, his ability to be versatile, run in between space. I think he worked well with Sturridge. He was a lot more versatile and makes more runs than people can sometimes give him credit for. Now, talking more about Daniel Sturridge, I think he's a devilishly clever player. He likes to engage with midfield. He can drop forward. He can do all the runs. I think he could do more Firmino things, quote unquote, than people think he can. Daniel Sturridge can play across the front three. I think lest we forget, he played out wide at Chelsea a lot of the times, and he's been more throughout his career than just the number 9, just the fox in the box that we've come to know him at Liverpool. But my favorite part of the first half, with it being 0-0, had to be the Crystal Palace fans singing this song about Mamadou Sakho, who, for some reason, again, is banned from being a Liverpool player, I guess. this This was my favorite because Mamadou Sakho, of course, went and dapped up Christian Benteke last April when Benteke scored against Liverpool to really kill them off in that match. A game Liverpool lost. It was a great dap, I guess, great handshake from Sakho. I have to give him credit for that. It was so disrespectful, I can't even front. But we saw Benteke this match. He missed a big chance. He wasn't as effective as he needed to be, mainly because Liverpool had so much of the ball. He had a few chances. Again, he missed a big chance, but I actually expected him to score against Liverpool. He's actually scored more times at Anfield as an opposing player, 5 times, than he scored as a Liverpool player at Anfield 4 times. And I believe he scored 7 goals in 8 appearances against Liverpool. So again, when he's played us, he's crushed us since he's left Liverpool, but he was relatively quiet today. And in the second half, with Despacito ringing throughout Anfield, we saw Liverpool also become a more patient, but also a persistent side, and later one that was hitting the full throttle. Talking more generally as well, we need to get this out of the way. Gini Wijnaldum has been very bad. I think in this midfield setup so far, with Lallana and Coutinho both not being involved in the side for different reasons, we've had Wijnaldum kind of shoulder a lot of the creative responsibilities, but he's really at his best when he's running downhill with the ball or running onto a ball. He's not really best when you give him the ball and all of a sudden he has to look up and see what his options are in midfield. He's a passer, but his passing range is not that great. And as a result, he's had to do a lot more just general midfield things, and he hasn't done that. And overall, his weakness has really hurt the team as a whole in midfield. So because Wijnaldum was so bad, at 70 minutes in, he was subbed on for 19-year-old Solanke, who came over from Chelsea. He was our only real summer signing at striker, but almost immediately he helped set up a goal, and that was huge. What we saw happen was Sadio Mane had the ball on the wing. He played a little 1-2. It got dinked around a little bit. He was fortunate. Solanke made a little flick on, but Sadio, from the beginning of that play, kept making the run from that initial 1-2, and he was rewarded for that in the end with a nice little goal. Super Sadio, can't say more about him. Super Sadio! I just love it. I love Sadio Mane. He's so relentless. He's so fast. And when you have a player of that attributes, with that quality, he's just hard to stop over a full 90 minutes. And eventually he got his way and got in on goal. And that ended up being the winner for Liverpool. So Liverpool, it's been a nervy start to the season. 1 win and 1 draw, but it was important to get the win, especially for your first home match today at Anfield. And the mood around the fan base with these nervy performances here and there, and the lingering, I'll just say, transfer window questions that are still around the club. Again, it's a bit nervy feeling around the club. It's not the greatest right now. I think we would all like for the transfer window to end as soon as possible. But for today, I'm just going to enjoy these 3 points. Thanks for watching JLB Sports TV, guys. Again, I'm Justin Block. I'll see you again soon.